The saga continues. Wu-Tang, Wu-Tang. All right, so the casual was brought up in this Ken Iijima drama, and we will not have it. I said we will not have it. For too long, I've watched this play out from the sidelines, mainly because I had no idea what the hell was going on. So we're gonna take a slightly different angle on this. I'm your boy Reggie Casual. Let's get it. All right, so first and foremost, I have no issue with Ken. Never had, never have. I wouldn't say we are incredibly close, but dude has always been a stand-up guy whenever we met. Which is why I was surprised to hear of the allegations of scamming, faking hype, clout chasing, etc., etc. Now, the other dude in this story, Gizmo, I don't know at all. So there's that. He may not even know that I exist. So my opinion on their situation is a moot point because honestly, it's none of my business. And it shouldn't have been anyone else's. And this is where we begin. If I were to list out all of the negative things that run rampant in the streetwear, street fashion community, we're talking about beef, judgment, infighting, the clout chasing, buying so-called grails for recognition, those would rank among the highest. And that is high-key getting real played real fast. And honestly, I don't believe it will ever change unless a few steps are taken, but that's another video entirely. You see, when you're witness to the entire world of fashion shaking their collective heads at the pettiness of the so-called street fashion community, like I am, it can be downright embarrassing because I'm trying to vouch for street as a valid form of fashion. And the community does not make that easy. And some of you out there, you might be like, we don't care what anybody else thinks. Fair enough, but I'd also point out that if you didn't care so much, then why are so many people buying the same things to show off to each other that is supposed to be all about creative expression? That's just a question. Because this Ken versus Gizmo versus the world situation exposes that hypocrisy in ways unimaginable. So after some deep thought about this, I realized what the real issue was. How we got to this point where individuals who have the same interests can somehow get into a social media tussle about character, corruption, carelessness, and competition. And it all boiled down to the value so many put on the haves and the epidemic of individuals that view themselves as have-nots. And far too many content creators exploit that. And there's a dirty side to that game. Many of the creators feel as though they are fighting for the same space, the same audience, and the same notoriety, which ultimately results in needless competition, which could inevitably lead to tension, bad blood, and public beefs. It's the very reason I rarely have shown you my pickups or expensive pieces, because it's a rat race that at the end of the day is frivolous without its proper context. But listen, I'm not here to badmouth Ken or Gizmo or anybody involved in this situation. I'm not condemning how they conduct their content or how they present themselves. But as an objective viewer, I see a lot of the tropes that plague the community playing out before our eyes in their spat. So let's take an honest review of that culture. I mean, you got resellers, fame and clout chasers, genuine fashion enthusiasts, content creators, sneakerheads, hypebeasts, and even Travis Scott fans. They're all occupying a space that maybe, just maybe, isn't cohesive. And maybe they aren't part of the same community at all. Now, why do I say this? Well, because no other fashion community, like before, is this divisive, chaotic, and frankly, unhealthy. Hell, fashion reps is more inviting than the streetwear community, and that should be a big red flag. And to be perfectly honest, I rarely engage with it. So there's that. I just look at the news. I'd like to think that we've proven that there is a serious hunger for a group of fashion enthusiasts that want more sophisticated content without the stuffiness of high-end lingo or the vitriol and unhealthy machinations of now mainstream trend and street culture. The unfortunate reality is that these discussions and platforms are being drowned out by the loudest trends, names, and mainstream ideas. Hell, even YouTube rewards the vapid nature of show and tell, controversy, and drama, which is included in controversy. And you may be thinking, what the hell does that have to do with the Ken saga? Well, everything. I mean, look at this scenario. Just think about it. Two individuals had a falling out. Some serious mistakes were made by one of those individuals, which that individual addressed, maybe not as comprehensive as he should have, and what should have been a matter between two individuals became fashion news. Now really think about that. Like really. You may think I'm joking, but that's absolutely insane. This is the very reason why street fashion is seen as an unserious cabal of young kids trying to fit in. There are those that literally follow street fashion culture not to be a part of it, but to laugh hysterically at situations like this. No one will ever take street seriously if we continue to look at fashion as pure commodity. It's just the truth. Fashion is supposed to be about expression, not about who has what, the next trend, or worse yet, drama between the community. If all the allegations of Ken are true, then as his friend, I would implore him to own it and move on. And as he said, not even care about this social media stuff. But also understand it's the social media stuff that made you who you are. You used it deftly, I might add, to promote your label. And I have no beef with that. I literally give tips on this channel on how to start labels. What you did is something that I probably would have given advice to do. So no one should condemn you on that. All I would ask is to own the things that you do, bad or good. And just to show that there's no bad blood as an olive branch, Ken, Giz, anybody is welcome to talk about it right here on The Casual to clear the air. The invitation is always open. This is the neutral space. Sure, the accusations are heavy, but airing them in public, I cannot co-sign that unless you're trying to prevent others from falling victim to something nefarious, but that doesn't seem to be completely the case here. If you have a problem with someone, either don't mess with them anymore or confront them face to face or deal with it on a case-by-case basis. That's like normal, right? This can all be summed up in 3 words that we say a lot here. Keep it casual. Because it's clothes. Listen, I love fashion. I love the art, the design, the styles. I love it. But people can't breathe out here. Governments are failing. I stubbed my toe, i.e. there are far bigger issues out here than clothes. Let's stop this madness. Or do one better, completely abandon the culture and move on to something different, a different culture. The conversation of fashion, not this crazy drama that doesn't even matter at the end of the day. A much better conversation would be, what steps should we take to make a more sophisticated culture? And what would that look like to you? Should drama be completely left out of the community? Or should we review those things? Let your thoughts be known in the comments. And as always, keep it locked right here for all of your info on international street fashion and culture from Tokyo. It's your boy, and keep it casual. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. And I will see you guys in a minute. Yeah, man, just to add, why though?